the vast majority of Filipina are dating, if they're dating foreigners, if they're with a foreigner, they're much younger. The foreigner is under 40, close to their age. So if they're in their 20s, the foreigner's probably in his 20s or early 30s. There's not more than maybe a 10, maybe a 15-year age gap, if that. Saturday morning here, and we're going to talk about dating young Filipinos in BGC. How tough is that, or how easy is that? First, we're going to do a little walk and talk, and then when we get to where I'm going, we'll sit down and have a chat. So come with me. Good morning from BGC. It's JJ, Lonely Bull. Welcome, Lonely Bulls. And I'm here in High Street South. We just had breakfast with a buddy at Fat Seed, right over there. Very good. I had waffles and chicken. It was like 400 peso, so about 750 the US. So we're going to take a little walk and talk. I'll show you around what's going on in a typical morning here in BGC. Okay, so this is the street they always block off, and you can see they have a little playground for the kids. So the kids get to do lots of fun little activities. You know, all the way down there, you can see them on roller skates. And then they do the building blocks. And looks like they can do a limbo, more blocks. And then they got go-karts down here, little pedal carts, which is fun. And then this is the main area where you can sit in the shade and enjoy the outdoors. Just kind of chill in this morning before it gets really hot. And in the shade, it's probably 5 or 10 degrees cooler in the shade, and you get a little bit of a breeze. So it's kind of nice, actually. And then we'll walk over here toward the regular high street. You can see the pedal cars. Hello, how are you? Good. Want to race? Okay. Good, because he probably beat me. Nice little park. I showed you this video before, this park here before. You'll see a lot of kids out here doing TikTok, which is fun. So I'm going to go take a walk down to High Street and then down to Forbes-town and maybe stop at Jamba Juice, get some Jamba. I had my coffee, my waffle and chicken. Saturday morning, the traffic's not as heavy as during the week. I'm trying out this new phone. It's my Philippine phone. It's a little cheaper than my US phone, but my US phone, the selfie camera is shot. I got my phone wet, and the SIM card went out for a while. It's come back now, so at least I have my SIM card, which is good. But the camera for my selfie is no longer functional. But the front view is fine. It still works, so that's good. But I'm trying this one out so I can see how it works. The only problem is it doesn't have the Type-C connector, so I can't hook up my wireless mic to it. So I'm going directly off the mic, off of the phone. So we'll see how it works. I'm trying to hold the camera close, the phone close to my face, so you can hear me well. But we'll see. If it works pretty good, I'll continue to use it, at least for the meantime. I'm trying to buy a new phone, but shipping it overseas is a little bit of a challenge. So I'll let you know how that goes. But you know, things are just starting. Things are just starting to open. I think Wild West opens at 11. Hey Romeo, how are you? So it's not 11 yet, it's about 10 o'clock. But it's a beautiful morning. A little bit of a breeze. It's going to be hot today though. We're getting into that time of year where the temperatures are going to be very hot. Now this year has been different. It hasn't rained hardly at all. And usually April is a little rainy. So I'm kind of surprised that it hasn't rained. I remember 2 years ago when I moved here and I was staying at an Airbnb at a place called the Avant, which is down on 3rd Avenue and 26th, right by Forbestown. And I would walk around looking at condos for rent. And it seemed like every day when I had to view a condo, it poured rain. And I would be soaking wet. I didn't have an umbrella, so I get caught in these rain downpours, and I would just be drenched. And I'm sure the people at the condos were thinking, this guy doesn't have sense to come out of the rain. But it just seemed like every day it rained. And this year, we haven't got a drop of rain in April, unless it's rained overnight, but it's just a little bit. So I think there's kind of a drought going on here in the Philippines, from what I understand. So yeah, it's been a very dry spring here, or April here, but it's getting hot. You know, those cool winter months of December, January, February, March, they're over. It's done. Now the hot comes, and it'll be hot. There'll be times it'll rain. But it will be hot, and a lot of you will feel miserable if you're here, if you can't handle the heat, because it'll get up to 95, but it'll feel like 105, and then that'll go on through probably August, and then we get into the real rainy season in September through December, and then you'll get a lot of rain in those months, and it'll cool down a little bit. And then December through March, you'll have your best weather. That's your high season. So you'll get a lot of tourists and people come during December through March. So if you're planning on coming out and you want the weather to be perfect, those are the months to come. The end of the year and first quarter of the next year. But those will also be your most expensive. Most expensive time to come out. April, May, June are probably your cheapest times to come out, just because it's low season. It's going to be a lot hotter, but you won't get a lot of rain, and you can come out here fairly cheap. If you can stand the heat, or you can go to the the beach areas and take a dip in the pool or in the ocean and cool yourself off there, and it won't be as busy as it normally would. Now they always block this off on weekends. This is 5th Avenue. They block this off, and they usually have things set up along here. Usually all kinds of like booths, selling food or merchandise. Sometimes they have a stage. They put a stage up over here, or sometimes they put a stage up over here, and they have live activities, live things going on. But it looks like, at least right now, there's nothing going on. So we'll see if that changes anytime soon or not. It's just nice to get your steps in early in the morning. That's the Shangri-La there. And you got lots of restaurants underneath here. Pink's recently remodeled, so that's a nice little restaurant. I love the green here. Nice shady area. It feels nice with a little bit of breeze. Not a big breeze today, but enough to cool you down a little bit. Hello. And then over here, this is a new setup they have. These are all those big water bottles, those 5-gallon water bottles. They cut the tops and the bottoms off, and they made these little spheres out of them. So that's kind of cool. You can see kind of a neat little art display. And that'd be, if you were a kid, that would be the perfect clubhouse. That would be cool. Looks like you could, looks like they got it set up to be inside there, but I don't see any way to get there, and plus it doesn't look like it would hold up. I'm be afraid that if somebody was in there, it would collapse. So it's just for looks. There's Wolfgang's over there. Not open yet. Most of these places will open at 11. There's the Mine Museum. They're getting ready to open. Look at the line. Ton of people here today getting ready to come in. Hello. Here we go. Hello. Where are you from? Where are you from? Shout out, shout out. That's my all right. Bye. Hello, hello. Hello. Oh yeah? All right, all right.
Thank you.
You bet. Hello. Hi. Hello. Wow, the Mine Museum's going to make a lot of money today, boy. Look at all these people lined up. A ton of people. I couldn't hear exactly where he said they're from. I'm sure it's a school event, school outing. All those kids are probably from the same school or those groups. But it's fun. All right, so I'm going to go. So we're still on High Street technically. Right ahead is Burgos Circle. I'll show you that real quick in case you haven't seen the videos or some of my other videos that show that. But it's a neat little circular park. It's like a giant roundabout. If you're from the States, you know what a roundabout is. This is a big one, but they basically put a park in the middle of it. So they got benches and trees and kind of a neat little Instagram tree area there. You can stand under, get your picture. And then right over there is Forbes Town. So that's where you would go if you want, you know, a little upper end. That's where I got to meet Angeli, the actress, the Filipina actress. I met her the other night right over there. But we're going to go the other direction. We're going to go over here and go to the other Jamba Juice. There's one on High Street and there's one right here, Virgo Circle. We're going to go to this one, sit in the shade, and enjoy my protein drink. And then maybe we'll chat a little more. Okay, Jamba Juice. In my protein with whey. And we're here at the one on Virgo Circle right behind me. I wanted to talk a little bit about dating in the Philippines, and specifically dating in BGC. Because if you're one of those guys that are thinking about, I want to come over to the Philippines and date a young Filipina, is that possible at an advanced age? I'm saying over 45, this 50s, 60s, and even in your 70s, to come here and date a young Filipina in her 20s. Provinces are different. You can probably do that. But it's going to be a lot harder in BGC to do that because they're a little more high-end. They're professionals as far as career girls. They're college educated. They work. They make their own money. So they are looking, or if they are looking for a foreigner, they're probably going to find someone that's a lot younger than you, that makes as much or more than you do. Now, let me kind of get into a little more detail about that. So, when I say young Filipino, or young foreigners with a young Filipina, I've kind of done a social experiment, and I'll post that one later. And just viewing, just observing. When you go out in High Street or in Forbes Town, there's a lot of people walking around. So I kind of make a mental note of how many Filipina are with older foreigners, and you hardly see any. Maybe one or two here and there, but the vast majority of Filipina are dating, if they're dating foreigners, if they're with a foreigner, they're much younger, the foreigners, under 40, close to their age. So if they're in their 20s, the foreigner's probably in his 20s or early 30s. There's not more than maybe a 10, maybe a 15-year age gap, if that. A lot of other things I've noticed is that Filipinos date other Filipinos. So I would say the majority of the Filipinos I see are with young Filipinos, men. So you don't see a lot of mixed relationships here in BGC. The older expats I see here, the foreigners, that you can tell they actually live here, they're with older Filipino women, and they have kids, they have a family. They've been here probably 10 years or more. So that's what you see the majority of time here in BGC. You hardly ever will see an old man with a young Filipina girl. It just doesn't happen here. Now, I'm not saying it can't happen, but it's not the norm. And I will also say that there's opportunities to bring a girl in from the province or from outside of BGC, bring her here. They would love to come to BGC. If they haven't been here before, maybe they have been here, they know how great an area this is. So they would love to come here and spend time with you. So if you're planning on staying in BGC for any period of time and you want to date a Filipina, a young Filipina, find one that's outside, because it's going to be really hard for you to find one here in BGC. I'm just telling you straight up how it is. Now, if you're a young dude and you make good money, that's a different story. You should be able to have no problem finding a girl here. Now, I will also tell you again that most of these girls here, they will date their own. They'll date Filipino. So you're not going to have that big pool to draw from. It's not going to be as large as you would think. So just be aware of that. If you think this is a gold mine and just a grounds for going in here and having fun and being that playa, that playboy, think again. It's not what you think. Now, maybe 5-10 years ago it was like that, but it's changed. The more westernized the Philippines becomes, the harder it will be for older guys to meet and date a younger Filipina, unless it's transactional. You'll find those on a regular basis in dating sites like Pina Love, even Christian Filipina. You'll find those transactional girls that are there to date you for money. They're looking to get paid to be your date. It's like an escort service. Now, whether it's long-term or short-term, it doesn't really matter to them. They're just looking for that payday, that payoff. So those are abundant. You can find those anywhere on most any dating sites. You can go to Makati and hang out in Greenbelt Mall, and girls will actually approach you and ask about hooking up with you. So that does happen, but it's all transactional. If you're looking for a real relationship, that's not a transaction, not a short time, you're going to have a hard time being an older expat to find a young Filipina here in BGC. Now, let me say this too. Now, if the age thing isn't a deal for you, if you want to date somebody in their Filipina here in their mid-30s, 40s, or even 50, you're going to have a lot better choice. You're going to have a lot easier time to find someone here in the BGC area, because they're more mature and you're closer to their age, so they're more open to having that relationship with you. So I just want to put that out there. This is a short video. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Put your comments in below if you've got personal experiences. LDRs don't count. Long-distance relationships don't count. That's not a relationship. That's a pen pal. It's not a relationship until you actually come here and meet them. And until then, you may be their LDR, and they may have 4 or 5 others that are also their LDR. So word of caution, just understand that. If you're in the LDR and you've never met your Filipina, you're not really in a relationship yet until you come here. So come here, get your boots on the ground, as they say. Enjoy the beauty that is the Philippines and here in BGC, and good luck. It's better to wait till you get here before you look for your girl, rather than start that LDR, unless you find someone and you're ready to come here within the next couple of weeks. Then that's okay, you can do that. Because if you're talking to a girl and it's been 4 months and you're saying, oh, I'm going to be there in a month or 2, you know what? She's talking to other guys too, and she's asking, when are you going to be here? When are you going to be here? Because if she's serious about getting a relationship with a foreigner, the first guy that shows up, that's the guy who wins. So just know that. So it's better to start that conversation. If you're going to do a conversation with someone off a dating site, start that conversation within a week or 2 of you actually getting your boots on the ground here, because it's going to be a lot easier for you then. Okay? Just a word of advice from someone who lives here and knows, but just to tell you that BGC is a tough get unless you're young and you have money and you're in decent shape, because there's a lot of guys. In the last year, I see a lot more of these younger guys coming to BGC. You see them all the time from all these Western countries, and they've got these young Filipinas in arm, and then you see these old guys, and they're alone. Just know that that's what's going to happen to you. So Open up your pool a little bit. Look for those, single moms are fine. Older Filipinas in their 30s or older, that's okay too. Just don't pigeonhole yourself. If you're coming to BGC, don't think you're going to find a 20-year-old and be able to date her if you're 70 or 65. It's not going to happen here in BGC. I can almost guarantee it, unless it's, like I said, transactional. So, like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate you. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Share these videos if you like. I'd love that. And I just want to get my experiences out to as many people as possible. Mabuhay, my friend. Live life, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.